So a few months ago, I had the opportunity to fly up north and meet with a phenomenal group of executives of a big corporation that they were very interested to learn and find out my approach in regards to the Hispanic market and what they can do better. So when I started asking different questions, the bottom line was that they have been very proactive in going after this demographic, but they were frustrated because the return on investment wasn't there. So when I start asking a little more in detail and questions and getting a little more in depth of their approach, they confessed to me that they have an advertising agency of record, that they take care of all their needs. And what they have been doing was basically using the general market campaign and translating into Spanish and running different Hispanic networks. But the ROI based on the investment they were making wasn't there. So one of the advice that I gave them is that part of that lack of ROI, it was based on two things. Number one, they were not fully committed. And I mean with that every company does it, and when I meet with executives, they use the Hispanic media to test the campaign. So there is no strategy behind. There is not a culturally relevant message that truly resonates to that audience. All their Anglo agency is offering to them is a little translation of the English campaign into Spanish. And why I'm saying that, I was on that side of the table in the past. I used to work for different ad agencies. I was the Hispanic token of many of them, the Hispanic department. And that's exactly what most of the agencies have been promoting and continue to do for the Hispanic market, the way of approaching this market. So number one, there wasn't a strategy behind, it was just based on translations. And number two, they didn't give enough time for that campaign to work and to be on the air. So, and I mean enough time is that even though there was a strong desire for them to engage with that audience, all they were testing, it was marketing variables. So if the media was working properly, was responding to an offer, or the offer was the right to entice the Hispanic market, but they were doing things on and off. So maybe 2 weeks on radio or 4 weeks on radio or 2 months, and then stop the campaign and start maybe on the fourth quarter again. So it wasn't a consistency. So at the end of the day, the bottom line is, if you don't understand the culture and how to connect your brand with them, how to trigger consumers' behaviors to connect with your brand, your campaign won't be successful. So my advice to you is get advice, get the right people on the table who can guide you and provide you with really smart solutions and knowledge on how you can maximize your investment, how you can assure that ROI, those people that truly understand how to engage with that audience. The Hispanic market for many agencies is a great area for two reasons. They don't speak the language, and number two, they don't understand the culture. And at the end of the day, it's not culture and language, it's both. But if I had to pick and choose, it's more culture than language. So the more acculturated that consumer is, you gotta use English. The less acculturated, you gotta use Spanish. But it's a combination of both. So to be successful with the Hispanic market, you have to understand your audience. You gotta do it in English, you gotta do it in Spanish, because there are different factors that take in place, and also who is influencing the main consumer during the purchase process of your product or your services. So just something to think about it, want to share with you, and hope to see you soon. Thank you.